from the Victorian splendour of the City of London to the glistening skyscrapers of Canary Wharf to the east. This is where the world does its banking. It's also the financial lungs of Europe. But France's new president, Emmanuel Macron, is emerging as a real threat.
He would like, as much as possible, to take some of the business that currently takes place in London and bring it to Paris.
But Brooks doubts whether Paris or anywhere else has the capability to do much damage.
I think within continental Europe, there is no other city that matches London for its, its labor resources, for its physical infrastructure, for the kind of the clustering of the services that go with banking and finance.
The lobby group, the City UK, says losing functionality, the ability for EU borrowers to raise capital in London's liquid markets, would be damaging for banks and companies alike. And the lost business wouldn't find its way to EU capitals, but to places much further away.
If functionality is reconsidered within Europe, most of it is more likely to go to where the other big pools of liquidity, risk and capital rest. And that's primarily in New York and perhaps Singapore.
Campkin says the core of London's argument is financial stability. A change in London's status is a threat not just to Europe, but globally.
There is a real fundamental issue here which the EU27 need to focus in on really carefully. And that's why I think it's important to think about this as being the right deal for the UK, the right deal for the EU27 and the right deal for global stability.
The threat to London's supremacy isn't just coming from Emmanuel Macron. The European Commission is playing hardball too. It wants euro settlements taken out of London, which processes €1 trillion worth of contracts a day. But the UK is fighting back.
We clear dollar-denominated transactions here. We clear renminbi. We clear yen. We don't have Tokyo, as someone said earlier this week. We don't have Tokyo ringing up and asking to take back the yen. So I think that when the politicians sit down calmly and speak to their practitioners, they'll realise that there isn't an advantage for them for taking the euro clearing onshore.
And McGuinness has a warning too. The UK after Brexit won't just be looking to Europe to fulfil its future. It will turn its attention to the wider world, and it's hoping that China will play a major role.
We have so much to offer looking forward and looking at Belt and Road, for example, and the great Chinese vision, which I think is wonderful. With the expertise that we can offer from here, we can help make that into a reality.
So the threats from the European Commission, the Parliament and from Mr Macron are certainly real. But as those in the know would say, if you want to know what's going on, just follow the money. And for the foreseeable future, it's flowing into London. Shaun Hassett for CGTN.